You know what wasn't legendary, apparently? I haven't seen it yet, so I'll reserve my judgment. On my timeline, it slowly shifted. It started at 60% hate, 40% love. Now it's more like 70-30. The Matrix Resurrections.
Yeah.
So what I discovered without getting spoiled, was talking to Panic, was that, you know, of the many issues that it had, there was even a portion of this film dedicated to basically talking about how how they didn't want to do how Lana didn't want to do the film. And like there was like some fourth wall breaking fucking meta shit.
Bro, this movie is so meta and so self-aware that it's almost like a parody. It's almost like, and it's so over the top, done that way, and it's so shoved down your throat, at least in the first like 30, 45 minutes of the movie, that it almost starts to diminish everything that came before it. It's almost like it's a joke. Like everything's a fucking joke. And it's the more I think about it, like this movie is worse than any Star Wars movie ever. This movie is worse than any. This is really bad. If you're a diehard Matrix fan, or like you're a pretty freaking, you like Matrix a lot, this is just gonna crush your soul. Like I can't wait for you to see this so that I can shit all over it. It's fucking bad, dude.
Like, does it feel like does it feel like Lana torched it so that nobody else could take the reins to do Matrix properly in the future? Like, does it feel like a self-sabotage kind of a situation?
Well, that's not it. It's the studio. Dude, they mention Warner Brothers in the movie, man. All right? The studio was going to make another Matrix movie. And Lana has the rights to the Matrix. And her rights will eventually expire. So if she didn't want to do it, she had an option. If she didn't want to do the movie, then somebody else was going to take the property and make it their own. She didn't want that, but it's clear that she didn't want to make this movie, but she made it anyway because she probably wanted control and wanted to tell the story that she wanted to tell. But, you know, the studio must have pulled their option to have this movie made, and it was getting made nonetheless. And she seemed like she didn't want to be there. In fact, from what I heard from numerous sources, that when COVID hit hard and they had to shut down production, she tried to stop the movie. And the cast basically rallied to get her to want to finish it. She just wanted to just bounce. She just didn't want to do it. Dude, the movie is so fucking bad, it hurts, man. I'm not gonna spoil anything more than that, but like, when you watch it, I'll go into detail about the shit that was just heinous. But like, the action sequences are fucking bad. Very, very bad. 90% of what fucking Neo does in this movie is this.
Yeah, I can tell from the trailers. Yeah,
This is it. I mean, this is John Wick here, right? Like,
you've got Keanu Reeves, who's aging but still very capable of some of the best action ever done on film, and you reduce it to force push,
bruh. There's like no leather in the movie either. Like, nobody wears leather. Fucking Hugo Weaving, nowhere's to be found. He's not in the movie. And apparently, they wrote the part for him.
Oh,
then
okay.
There was scheduling conflicts, so we didn't do it. I personally think he was like,
scheduling conflict.
I think he was like, bro, this fucking script sucks ass. I want nothing to do with this. I'm Hugo. All right? I am a decorated actor.
Yep.
You know, I am not in, and you know they would have paid him $1.5 bags to go there and reprise his role. It was bad. The new budget Morpheus is like watching a dude try and act like a younger Morpheus, and it's not good. No fucking, it's bad. The new Agent Smith it's a fucking joke. The whole movie is a fucking joke. There are two aspects of the movie that I enjoyed. That I was like, okay, I'm behind these two little things. But they shove it down your throat so hard that it becomes a joke. It literally becomes bro, all I can do is say, watch this movie. This, they were famous for bullet time in the previous Matrix. They've got this new thing in the movie, and I won't spoil what it is. You're going to know, actually, when you first see it, you're going to be like, what's going on here? Is this like, it's kind of almost like a Game of Thrones thing where everything, it's not that it was really dark, but like it was so fucking bad that you're like, what is happening on screen? Why is this here? This is an almost $200 million fucking movie.
Oh.
And the effects, although the whole, machine world and the shit that they do there looks phenomenal, and that feels like Matrix, the actual Matrix itself doesn't feel like Matrix. It is some of the worst CGI for this new thing that they got going on, which really isn't new to begin with. They just kind of explain this in a different... The effect that they use, it's hard on the eyes, it's bad, it's choppy and horrible. It's just god-awful, dude. What's Neil Patrick Harris? The guy, listen, I like him, but his role sucks ass. He's not menacing at all. It's a shitty villain. It's just bad. I mean, it's fucking bad. Where are the agents in this movie? Where
this is so disappointing because the trailers and whatnot.
Oh my god, bro! They
led me to believe
in the trailer they used the same fucking song in the movie, and it's
White
almost
Rabbit.
It's almost verbatim. The trailer is like a scene from the movie, and you're like, I already saw all this, and nothing's changed. It's really fucking bad, dude. It's really fucking bad. This movie made domestic opening was $12 million. It's made $68 million worldwide to date. It's as a budget of $190 million. This movie is a colossal failure. It's so fucking bad, it hurts to even talk about it. It's horrible, Adam. In every conceivable way.
Here's the question: Does Lana ever get to make another movie again, big budget in Hollywood?
I hope not. She's dog shit at making movies. She hasn't made a good movie since the first Matrix. Everything's been shit. Who is giving her money to do this?
Not just some $200 million, bro.
Dude, I can't put into words how bad this movie is, my dude. There are characters that come back from the old Matrix, and they just look old. There's one in particular. There's one in particular who's a female. I won't spoil who it is.
It's almost like the movies have been like 20 years ago. They've aged.
Bro, there's one very famous actress who isn't really a famous actress that's in the movie. All right? I think she might even have been in the trailers, but I'm not going to say. All right? She's in this movie.
Uh-huh.
And she has way too much screen time. She's playing an older version of herself because everybody's aging, and she's really old in this movie, and it sounds like she's acting like an old woman, like, oh, here's my granny. And she's got way too much screen time, and you don't even like her. She's not likable. It's bad. Dude, there's one guy in particular from, I do believe, Matrix Reloaded, who's in this. Yes, Matrix Reloaded. He's in this movie. All right, you're going to know. Actually, you might not even know him. Okay, I've seen people see this guy, and they're like, dude, what's up with this? I'm just going to say, what's up with this French guy here? Like, who the fuck is this? There's this action sequence, and I'll say there's a French guy in the movie who was in the other Matrix movies. This dude shows up.
Fucking, what's his name? Does that mean that the girl you're talking about is the girl that did his better half in that film as well?
Yes,
That's who I thought you were talking about. Yeah,
he's in this movie, bro. I'm not gonna spoil.
Is that Selma Hayek? No,
I'm not. No.
No.
Bro,
What's her name? Frick. Anyway, yeah.
This guy has some dialogue in this movie. It was some of the most painful, cringeworthy shit I've ever seen in my life. It made no sense. That whole action sequence looked like they were sitting on a fucking shitty movie set where, like, bro, the choreography was so bad. People were like, they were like jittering around and trying to find their spot and their position. It was almost like they were trying to find an X on the floor where they're supposed to stand. And this fucking French dude is having this dialogue in this scene while all this mess and mayhem is going on, and it's not good at all. Dude, once I saw that shit, I knew that it was irredeemable. And this happens like an hour and 15 minutes in the movie. It's irredeemable. After that, I was completely checked out. There was no way the movie was winning me back. It was an embarrassment. Lana, the way she filmed the first like 40 minutes of this movie, it was almost like she only wanted to use natural lighting. So like you'd be taking, there'd be scenes with the sun and shit. And it was like,
everyone's like backlit.
Everyone's like this. It's like it's like this. Every scene is like this, where there's like a light glowing and it's just like this. It looks just like this. It looks just like this. The Matrix looks just like this. And they're doing a scene and there's a beam of light. No matter where you go, there's a beam of light to the point where everything else is like horribly lit and everybody's just acting. And it feels so bad. Thank God they got like 20-30% in the movie and they said, stop this madness. You are not lens flaring anymore. Whatever the sun flare, you ain't doing it. It was that bad. It's the cinematography. The movie is like fucking 2 hours and 40 minutes of hell. And there is about 15 to 20 minutes of it actually feeling like a Matrix movie, where the cinematography kind of feels like a Matrix. A lot of it is in the machine world, and it feels and looks like the Matrix. The rest of it doesn't even feel. The color palette isn't Matrix. The cinematography isn't there. It's all close-ups. It's fucking bad. The hand-to-hand combat, which very little. Most of it is, people just getting blasted with, like, beams of air, whatever. I don't fucking know. Bro, the movie is bad. Listen, I can't make this up. 15 minutes of this fucking movie was actual clips of the fucking other movies. Dude, they would show characters and they would do a flashback of the movie that they came from, so you know that it's that character, because they're recasting so many people that you see an Agent Smith and it's like doom, and then you see Hugo Weaving standing there, and then you realize that everything they showed in the past is better. It looked better, it was filmed better, the actors were better, the shots were better. Bro, it is so incredibly self-awarely bad that it became a joke on itself. They should be ashamed of themselves for making this movie. Keanu Reeves, he's trying his hardest right now to no longer be the darling of Hollywood. It's that bad. He should never, ever have made this movie. Ever. It's that bad. He should have read this script. I don't care how much of a friend he is to Lana and the rest of them. He needed to step his foot down and say, listen, if Hugo Weaving, Lawrence Fishburne, and the rest of them ain't in this fucking movie, I am not going in this movie. Listen, Neo, Trinity, great. Awesome to see them together, doing their thing. Fantastic. That's the best part of the film. Great. Awesome. I love me some Neo. But Jesus fuck, the movie is awful. It's the worst movie of the decade. I haven't seen a movie worse than this. I don't know the last movie I saw that was worse than this. Every movie I've seen this year is infinitely better than this. It's a fucking dog shit movie. It's so bad. And it spits on the face of hardcore Matrix fans. Dude, it's like if If Kathleen Kennedy made a Star Wars film and told everybody in the movie that she didn't want to make Star Wars anymore and that everybody was a joke and none of it really mattered and everything is fucking dog shit, and then they filmed it, they didn't even have lightsabers in it. They just decided, fuck, Jedis, no longer lightsabers, no longer Force this, no longer this, no longer that. It's like they took everything that you loved and then they shit all over it. It's fucking awful. And the part that irks me the most is that there's people that like this shit. This shit, I'll go on Rotten Tomatoes, and there are souls on here. It's got a 64% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's unbelievable.
Nostalgia's a hell of a drug, bro. Nostalgia.
How? No, there's nothing nostalgic about this, Adam. That's the part that hurts. Who liked this? How? The action, dude, the action is so bad, and there's barely any of it. There's no, like, good music. The only thing that feels like The Matrix is, like, the sound effects. We're like... And it's just like, they're doing all the sound effects for nothing. For a bunch of 60-year-olds running around in fucking capes. It's so fucking bad, man. It's so bad. I'm sorry.
You know what's great about this rant and how you're so confused as to how anyone could possibly like it? This sounds exactly how I sounded when I was reviewing and talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, bro.
This is the exact same scenario where I cannot fathom how anyone could consider it good in any degree, and it shits all over the source material in every possible way.
Yeah, but like at least Final Fantasy, the characters in the game didn't do it. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird to hear the actual characters just straight up like literally name dropping Warner Brothers and bitching about Warner Brothers in their own fucking movie. The fuck? I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't even going to start raging about this. The more I think about it, the more this is actually the worst movie I've seen in probably a decade. I'm not joking. And it's not because technically it's a bad film. It's they took everything and they just did nothing with it. You know, if this was a new franchise in and itself and it was just a movie that didn't have all this history with all these beloved characters and you bring back a fraction of them, you don't even offer Lawrence Fishburne a role in this movie, and
that's so cool. Like, I can understand if they offered and he said no. Just like Hugo Weaving said scheduling conflicts, as if Hugo Weaving is doing literally fucking anything right now.
Bro, he didn't want to be part of this, bro. He did not want to be part of this.
No.
He did not.
And he was smart.
Oh, he is laughing right now. He is laughing right now. He is there. I mean, it just would have been a bad look. I'm so happy he did not put his name. It's to the point where I have to forget this exists, because if I take this as canon, I'm gonna hate the Matrix trilogy, like the first one. I'm just not gonna enjoy it. So I have to like delete this from my being. I have to just know that this was something that nobody wanted to do, and it's clear. You can tell nobody's having fun. Nobody is enjoying themselves. Nobody.
When I was watching the interviews, like the odd interview or whatever, they were, you know, their press tours or whatever for the film. You know, Keanu is really good at just being laissez-faire about anything, right? Keanu just lives. He doesn't give a fuck. But Carrie looked like Carrie-Anne Moss looked like she wanted to fucking just be anywhere but in a chair talking about the Matrix in every one of these fucking interviews.
She knew it was bad, man.
She knew it was bad.
It's not good, man. It's not good. It's not good at all.
Yeah.
It's really bad. Listen, guys, I encourage, if you're a Matrix fan, to just go out and watch it, just so that, you know, and then never watch any other Matrix movies that come out from here on out. This really, truly is a spit in the face of diehard Matrix fans. It had some clever ideas that was just drowned in a very unclever delivery. And to the point where it just got shoved down your throat, where you're like, dude, is this a fucking SNL skit? This is a joke. This cannot be real. And it looked like somebody at the top of their class in film school was handed a $190 million budget to go make a movie based off of the first Matrix and then go and see what you can do. So, the script, pretty fucking bad. It's got some competent levels to it. There are some things, like the whole thing isn't a fucking mess. The vast majority of it's a fucking mess. But the whole thing's a fucking mess if you compare it to what they're doing and the things they're saying in there. It's a fucking gong show to the 10th degree. It's awful. If I had to give it a number, it's at most a 3 out of 10. At most. If they didn't shove the shit down your throat so much, and if it actually was filmed like an other Matrix movie with the color palette, the cinematography, and they took the shit a little bit more serious, as a movie, it'd probably be a 5. That's not, dude, everything you loved about The Matrix, none of that's in this. Except Trinity and Neo. That's it. And they do fine. But
so
I don't remember them smiling. It's like they don't even want to be there. Did anybody that watched the movie, did Neo smile in this film ever? Did Trinity smile in this film ever? Did it seem like they were glowing on set of The Matrix, where they're like, you know what, man? This scene's really going to be a fucking, this one's going to be it. This is going to be the scene that's going to really grab. Nobody was having a good time. It's a depressing film. The story's shit, makes no sense. It's bad. That's it.
Question.
And when you watch it, we are going to go in depth, and I'm going to fucking tear his. I'm going to bend it over and tear it a new one.
Well, when I get a chance to see it, we'll go back, we'll revisit, and I'm sure I'll have some choice words as well.
There's no attitude in this movie. There's nothing. There's no charisma. There's no oomph. There's nothing.
Well, it sounds like a bunch of people going through the motions, and that's like it. And the motions are not good.
No, they're not. They're not. It's bad. It's really, truly that bad, man. And there's these weird zombie-like things at one point in the film. Like you're gonna see this shit, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this? Am I in the new Alan Wake video game?"
Here's a question.
You just might be in the Matrix.
Here's a question then. It's not on HBO in Canada. That's just in the States. NordVPN. My question is, if The Matrix were to continue to be a franchise moving forward, then obviously we don't want Lana having anything to do with this fucking film anymore, or these films. So who do you entrust in the seat?
No one.
No one?
No one. What they need to do, and what this should have been, they should have taken the $200 million and let Lana make a godforsaken series on Netflix or whatever fucking streaming service they wanted, and have taken 10 hours, 10 episodes, 8 episodes, I don't give a fuck, and have made a television show, because this felt like a bad television show based off The Matrix with a couple of characters that flew in to say what's up. They needed to pass the torch. It's the fucking Matrix. You can do anything you want. They needed to have Neo and Trinity come back, let everybody else fucking go and do their own thing, pass the torch, because the only other redeeming character was Bugs, the girl with the blue hair. She was great. She felt like Matrix. She was good. I fucks with Bugs. Everybody else can go fuck themselves. Nothing else worked. Nothing. This should have been a series. This should not have been a blockbuster. There was nothing blockbustery about this. Anybody and everybody should be watching this at home on the small screen and enjoying it and going deep into the anthology of The Matrix. That's what it should have been. And it should have been called Matrix Reboot. Not Resurrections, Resur this, Resur that. Reboot it, start it fresh, remove this stupid idea that they had about what The Matrix really is, and make a show and do hour-long episodes, and then they stand a chance. The movies, it's over.
It's
done.
It bothers me so much, because we saw it happen with Star Wars, and now we've seen it now with The Matrix, where, the bar is not high for being able, like, if you're going to go out and do one more film with the original actors and actresses, right? And this is you know, the timing makes sense. 20-year anniversary. Let's do something. Let's add a bookend to this with the original cast and wrap it up. It bothers me that, just like with Star Wars, the film that it's going to end on with the originals is dog shit. And I know a lot of people don't consider, you know, The Last Jedi or whatever to be dog shit. That's up for your own interpretation. Fuck what they did with all the original characters in the Star Wars sequels. They fucked every one of them.
Bro, this is so much worse.
Every one of them. And now we're seeing it with The Matrix in worse fashion than Star Wars had. And we're not going to get follow-ups, you know, so you go out on a hot fucking mess.
Yeah.
Which is just depressing.
The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker were competent films. And at least it felt like Star Wars. Yeah. No matter if you
it still felt
didn't
like
the
Star Wars.
decision making and all this other stuff, that's a whole nother bag of worms. But at least there was a consistency to it. It's almost like Lana was like, hey, me and my sister, we used to do these things, but this is my movie. And I'm going to put my own fucking spin on it. And I'm going to put a stamp on there. And this is going to be my jam. Motherfucker, we don't want your jam. We wanted the old jam. In fact, nobody even wanted the old jam. Why is this even greenlit? Because, you know, let's be real. Matrix 2 and 3, not as good as the first, but they were still, Matrix was still cool. All right, down. This wasn't it, man. This wasn't it. And when you watch this movie, I know for a fact, bro, you're going to fucking hate this film. I know without a doubt.
After I saw the first couple of reactions, you know, I was pretty certain that I wasn't going to be a particular fan for sure. So, man, what a disappointing way to send out one of the great film franchises of all time.
Awful.
What a way to do it. And not what Keanu Reeves needs right now. Like he's going to do anything. If it's a friend of his, he's going to do it. You know, that's like Keanu's double-edged sword is, you know, Keanu can read a script, and if it's for a friend and it's not ideal, he's probably still going to do the fucking film.
Dude, it was funny. This is the last thing I'll say. I was watching interviews because I was trying to amp myself up. Like I was ready to be disappointed. To amp myself up. And they're like, listen, we've heard every possible scenario on where the Matrix could go from here and how we could come back and all this stuff. And nobody got this. What we've done, nobody got it right. Nobody guessed this. And you know why they didn't guess it? Because it's fucking shit. It's so fucking
Nobody would have
bad.
imagined they'd be stupid enough to go that route.
It's so bad. It's painful.
So
if I saw it on Christmas, it would have ruined my fucking Christmas. I'm not joking. I would have looked back 30 years from now, and somebody would have said, what was your worst Christmas ever? I would have said it was the Christmas that I watched fucking The Matrix on Christmas. Thank God I watched it on the 22nd of December. Thank God. Thank God. It would have overshadowed everything I'd done that day. I was salty, man. I was salty. I was salt. I digress.
Well, hopefully John Wick 4 doesn't suck. That would just be depressing. I mean, like that's if John Wick 4 sucks, Keanu's just done at that point. I think you can't do shitty Matrix and shitty John Wick and expect to fucking make it out alive, even if you're Keanu Reeves. So hopefully that doesn't go the way of the Matrix.
Did I tell you I fell asleep during it too? I fell asleep, and out of respect, I dozed off because it was fucking boring. I dozed off probably for about 5-7 minutes. And then I went upstairs. I grabbed something to drink, kind of like got myself in the mode. I came down. I rewound the parts I missed, and then I followed through. I fell asleep, and it was 7 p.m. 7.